Breaking news begins this hour. Law enforcement in England have arrested former Prince Andrew on suspicion of misconduct in public office. The disgraced royal family of King Charles is alleged to have shared confidential government documents with a notorious pedophile, Jeffrey Epstein. I'm Harris Faulkner. You are in the Faulkner Focus. Live pictures now, and that is Andrew's residence at Sandringham Castle, about 100 miles north of London. Police have been searching that property for hours. They are also now at his Windsor estate, which is about 50 miles west of London. Fox News legal editor Carrier Bond.
I would imagine the UK court is going to take into consideration, because it's going to hinge on how serious a breach of duty was this. Is the public trust threatened by what he did? Was there harm? And was this information, though, inherently confidential? And that will be an interesting, I think.
In October, King Charles stripped his younger brother of all of his royal titles. Today, King Charles offered his full support and cooperation in the investigation into Andrew. In a statement, King Charles said, "Let me state clearly, the law must take its course." Eric Shawn is on the story, developing still at this hour. Eric.
Hello, Harris. Well, it is a stunning development following the release of the documents in the Epstein scandal. The arrest of former Prince Andrew on suspicion of misconduct in public office. The younger brother of King Charles was taken into custody at his home by Thames Valley Police after those revelations from the Jeffrey Epstein files released here in the U.S. Police previously said that they were assessing if those emails show Andrew giving Epstein inside information about government business and investment opportunities. They include details of Andrew's official trips and confidential briefings that he had while he served as Britain's trade envoy in 2010 and 2011. That would be a violation of the Government Secrets Act. Well, despite the arrest, Andrew's brother, King Charles, is keeping up a public schedule today. He attended a London fashion event today, and he said he does support the investigation. Quote, "I have learned with the deepest concern the news about Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and suspicion of misconduct in public office. What now follows is the full, fair, and proper process by which this issue is investigated in the appropriate manner and by the appropriate authorities." You know, Andrew has long been accused of sexual misconduct with underage girls provided by Epstein. He has always denied any wrongdoing. Epstein victim Virginia Giuffre, who wrote a book about it, and she committed suicide, sadly, in 2024. Well, she had said that Epstein had forced her to have sexual relations with Andrew when she was a minor. Her lawsuit against him was settled. Her family reacting to Andrew's arrest today by saying, quote, "Today our broken hearts have been lifted at the news that no one is above the law, not even royalty." Well, the arrest happens to come on Andrew's 66th birthday and is just the latest fallout from this growing scandal. Already several prominent politicians and business people around the globe connected to Epstein have resigned, and there's lots of speculation that more names could be made public, and we could even see more arrests. Harris.
Eric Shawn, thank you very much. Despite recent scandals and upheaval, a majority of the British public see the royal family in a positive light. A recent survey finds 54% hold a favorable opinion of the royals. Question now whether that will stand.
It is an absolute bombshell. I mean, to put this into context, there has been no member of the royal family arrested in my lifetime. I'm 60 years old. You have to go back centuries to the last time that a member of the British royal family was arrested. And this is a serious matter. This might just be the tipping point of a gigantic scandal, which represents, I would argue, an existential threat to the monarchy itself.
Let's get into that. Hilary Fordwich, British Royals commentator. Great to see you today. Thank you for joining me. We'll get to the kind of the politics and what moves forward. I'm curious, how long do you think this has been coming? I mean, they had targets here, they moved in, and they are searching them.
Well, pleasure to be with you, Harris, although ghastly circumstances. They have moved fast. This was the Thames Valley Police that drove all the way up to Norfolk, which does, even though it's only about 50 miles, it does take quite a bit of time to get up there, hours, actually. I think what is really important about what Piers Morgan said there, an existential threat. I would not be shocked, Harris, to see King Charles have to abdicate over this. When you gave that poll was correct, but it was very important to note the date. That date was October, November of last year. Right now, the poll is much more like about 28% of the British public are in approve of the way the royal family's been handling this. And I will say Prince William has been behind. Zero tolerance. Better late than never for King Charles, but he's putting his foot down finally to preserve the royal family.
All right, when you say abdicate the throne for King Charles, that is glaring. So I want to press in there. What makes you say that, and how quickly could that happen?
Yes, I'm not stating that as fact. I'm stating that more as opinion and conjecture because, Harris, this is not just about this current issue. This is about who knew what and when. Think about, like, obviously President Nixon, what brought him down, and it was the fact that he knew about this and covered it. So it's who knew what when. And think about all of those, the detectives. Think about the fact that Prince Andrew then, that's who he was then, used to have these young women trafficked, basically, to Windsor Castle, to Buckingham Palace, and they were giving the name Mrs. Windsor at the gates, so the protection officers knew, the police knew, and obviously there were many reports of this, and it was dismissed, it was overlooked. Now what we're seeing with this misuse in public office, though, it's rather like, it reminds me of Al Capone. Remember all those dead bodies, Harris? But it was cheating on tax evasion that eventually had him jailed. I think you can see Andrew jailed, and I think King Charles, given his health issues too, by the British public, it'll all come down to polls. He might abdicate over this because Prince William has stood fast the entire time with zero tolerance on this, and he wanted him as far away from Windsor as possible, hence the ousting from Royal Lodge.
Right. To further that point, you know, from the King this morning, he said what now follows is the full, fair, and proper process by which the issue is investigated in the appropriate manner and by the appropriate authorities. I mean, if he is staying or if he abdicates, however which way it goes, his son, William, now is the future. So this sets him up. Everything's got to be above board.
You're absolutely right. You're actually stating what is the most important. And notice from that statement that Eric read for us from King Charles, what was very important. It's not just what was said, Harris. It was what was omitted. What was omitted? He didn't refer to Andrew as my brother. He didn't refer to him as a member of our family, which the royal family inevitably does. He stated just his name. So there has been, as I said, Prince William, zero tolerance. That's why they've ousted him, stripped him of his titles, everything that was honorary to him. And I think probably one of the very many sad issues about this is Andrew has squandered the support of the British public because he was a war hero. He was favored by the nation, and he has squandered it due to his debauchery. And last but not least, a very dear former FBI friend of mine has always said, Harris, when there's debauchery and deviant behavior in one aspect of someone's life, it'll show up elsewhere. And this is showing up in his misuse in public office.
Hilary, always great to have you on the program. Thank you very much. And we'll get back together as this moves along with searches going on at properties today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, everyone. I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.